Jason Momoa, the wild heart of Hollywood, is a warrior who breathed life into Aquaman, and once made the world bow before the blazing fire of Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones. From the boy who carried the spirit of Hawaii's waves to the man who now strides beneath the glow of the red carpet, he carved his destiny against merciless tides, carrying kingdoms upon his shoulders with a soul stitched from waves, blood, and will. A symbol of freedom, resilience, and untamed life, he became the unbreakable warrior whose fated love with Lisa Bonet made the world believe in destiny, the father who built an entire sky of love around his children, and the man who walked through heartbreak when that love quietly fell apart. At 46, the storm returned darker and closer than ever, a reminder that even heroes can bleed, but the greatest always rise again. His story began in Honolulu, where silence became his first lesson after life gifted him the ocean yet took away his father. Born on August 1, 1979, beneath golden skies, he carried the name Nakoa, spirit of the waves, as the Pacific cradled him with lullabies of tides and volcanic surf. His father, Joseph Momoa, a native Hawaiian artist, taught him to capture the world's soul through paint, while his mother, Connie Lemke, of German, Irish, and Native American roots, taught him light, shadow, and stillness. But when love washed away too soon, Jason was torn from the sea and taken to Iowa, where fields replaced waves and silence replaced song. The boy who once slept beside the ocean now wandered snow-covered streets, invisible and aching, missing the salt in the air and the rhythm that once rocked him to sleep. Raised alone by his brave mother, he learned courage and kindness, but nothing could fill the hollow of absence. Even as he grieved small losses, he ran through storms, climbed trees like cliffs above the Pacific, and chased horizons with a wildness that Iowa could not tame. After high school, he pursued marine biology to study the sea he longed for, but textbooks could not contain his restless soul. He traveled to Paris to learn painting, to Tibet to seek silence, but the call of Hawaii never faded. Returning home before finishing school, he saw his father again and felt the storm inside him finally settle. At 19, he stepped onto the set of Baywatch Hawaii, discovering acting as the ocean his voice had been searching for. From modeling to North Shore to Stargate Atlantis, he endured icy waters, brutal stunts, sleepless nights, and the grind of warrior forged in hunger, homelessness, and defiance. Fame arrived in 2010 when he founded Pride of Gypsies and earned the role of Khal Drogo, his haka-fueled audition ending his anonymity. But when the spotlight dimmed, he faced years of silence, financial struggle, and crushing doubt until 2014's road to Palomar restored not wealth but his soul. Then destiny surged again, Aquaman. Cast in 2016, he trained from dawn to midnight, pushed his body past exhaustion, and became the ocean he had once lost. In 2018, Aquaman shattered records with $1.14 billion, crowning him an A-list icon, and the world watched him perform a powerful Maui haka at the premiere. Yet fame's weight were heavy, and he learned that behind every chill lies exhaustion and fear. Even in triumph, storms followed. In 2008, a violent assault at a bar nearly blinded him, requiring 140 stitches, yet he rose stronger, calling pain a lesson rather than a curse. Injuries during Aquaman 2, from torn muscles to herniated discs, tested his endurance again, and in 2022, a head-on collision with a motorbike in Los Angeles left him shaken but miraculously alive. Through every scar, every break, and every sleepless night, Jason Momoa became more than Aquaman or Drogo. He became a survivor who transformed blood and sweat into light. Before fame, love found him on the sun-soaked set of Baywatch Hawaii in 1999, where he met Simone Jade Kinnan, the first woman to steady his wildness, the first to believe in him before he believed in himself. Their connection sparking under the warm Hawaiian sun as the waves whispered the beginning of a story destiny had only just begun to write. Under the Hawaiian sun, colleagues often remarked, they were inseparable, young, wild, and deeply in love. Jason's laughter and boundless energy met Simone's calm maturity, creating a rhythm both thrilling and tender. After nearly 5 years of quiet devotion, he proposed in 2004 as his career gained momentum with Stargate Atlantis. Their engagement celebrated privately, delayed only by the demands of work that stretched across continents. Fans and the press hailed them as one of Baywatch's most steadfast couples, but even early fame has a way of testing love. In 2005, Simone returned to Australia to film McLeod's Daughters while Jason stayed in the U.S. chasing opportunity. Time stretched, calls shortened, and miles began to speak louder than words. Love isn't lost, he would later say softly. It just gets tired. There was no anger or betrayal, only the quiet heartbreak of two people standing on different shores watching the same sunset for the last time. Their parting was not dramatic, only painfully human. Simone returned to Australia, and Jason walked toward destiny. Within a year, fate would lead him to Lisa Bonet, but he carried Simone's memory like a shell from a distant beach, something you don't need to hold forever yet can never truly throw away. Years later, he spoke of her with neither regret nor bitterness, only reverence, because Simone was not a lost love but a teacher, the woman who taught him gentleness before the storms, patience before success, grounding before greatness. From her, he learned that love isn't possession but presence, being there long enough to help someone become who they are meant to be. Even indirectly, he spoke with a lingering softness, like the tide retreating, because she had given him something no fame or film could replace, the first understanding of what it means to be seen not as a star, but as a soul. Perhaps it is why in every role he plays, from warrior to king, there is always a flicker of tenderness behind the strength, the echo of that first calm before destiny roared to life. She was a calm before the storm, the quiet wave before the ocean raged, and though their paths diverged, her presence lingers like she missed in the memory of his youth. Every man remembers his first ocean not for how it ended, but how it changed him forever. The year Jason Momoa's heart first broke did not mark an end, but the beginning of a story rewritten by fate. In 2005, beneath a veil of New York rain shimmering through streetlights, she appeared, Lisa Bonet, luminous, serene, the woman he had once vowed as a child in Hawaii he would marry someday. When she walked into that jazz bar, the world simply stopped. They spoke until dawn, two souls recognizing home in each other. She 38 in twilight calm, he 26 and fierce as the ocean. She became his peace, he became her wildness. In Topanga Canyon their love blossomed far from Hollywood's glare, morning spilling across cedar floors, children's laughter drifting through sunlight. Lola arrived in 2007, his little bird of light, then Nakoa Wolf a year later. They built a sanctuary of wood, wind chimes, stories under string lights, barefoot walks along the creek, and dinners glowing with warmth. Jason became a devoted father not only to their children but to Zoe Kravitz, weaving a family not by blood but by devotion. Lisa is my home, he would say. In 2017, after over a decade together, they married under ancient oaks in a private ceremony filled with laughter, sage, and starlight. But slowly, fame cast its shadow. As Aquaman soared, the rhythm that once held him began to falter. Mornings turned silent, dinners separate, children quietly missing the father who once lingered at bedtime. We were learning different songs, he later admitted. By 2020, they realized that love had changed shape, still profound, but moving in separate directions. In January 2022, they released a statement. We free each other to become the people we are learning to be. Their separation held dignity, no anger. You can lose love and still keep peace, he said, though the ache was real. When their divorce finalized in January 2023, there were no battles, only respect. The children lived mostly with Lisa, yet Jason remained present, surfing with Lola, building motorcycles with Nakoa, sharing meals with Zoe and Lenny Kravitz. The tabloids called them beautifully broken, but they had simply redefined love itself. Love doesn't disappear, he later reflected. It just changes shape. Lisa remained a light that broke gently, a chapter closed in silence like the sea after storm. After years of storms and solitude, Jason moved through Hollywood like a ship adrift, his heart echoing with the absence of Lisa and the old wound of Simone. Into this quiet came Audrey Arjona, a connection first formed during Sweet Girl in 2021 but rekindled in 2024 at a Los Angeles event. She brought calm resilience, a presence that didn't demand a repair but simply existed. Her laughter glimmered like dawn. Her warmth softened the edges of his storm-scarred heart. By May 2024, he confirmed, I am very much in a relationship, and soon the world glimpsed their quiet devotion, subtle, tender, unperformed. In February 2025, hand in hand at SNL 50, he reclaimed not just love but himself. This was not reckless passion or consuming devotion. It was a love earned through endurance and acceptance. Audrey became the peace he deserved, a reminder that after every storm, hearts can find calm seas again. Yet another bond lived quietly within him, the brotherhood he shared with Paul Walker, forged through the ocean and humanitarian work. After Paul's death in 2013, Jason grieved deeply, honoring him not with spectacle but action, rescuing marine life, supporting Reach Out Worldwide, and fighting for the ocean they both loved. "I dived alone that day," he said of a trip to Fiji they had planned, "but I felt he was there in every wave." Paul's legacy lived on in Jason's purpose, a guiding force whispering, "Live well, love more, protect the sea." Now at 46, Jason lives a life steeped in adventure, artistry, and intention. He drives Harley-Davidsons, BMW R9 TS, and a vintage pink 1955 Cadillac named Bernadette, owns Earth Roamer expedition vehicles, surfboards, instruments, and eco-conscious fashion lines, and champions sustainability through projects like Mananalu Water. His California estate, valued around $3.5 million, and his Hawaiian retreat serve as sanctuaries of carved wood, ocean motifs, and tropical plants. Family remains a heartbeat. Lola, now 18, and Nakoa Wolf, 17, surf beside him, clean beaches at dawn, and explore pine-scented trails. Nakoa has already stepped into acting, recently cast in June Part 3. Audrey moves through their world as both anchor and compass, sharing motorcycle rides, volcanic hikes, and sunset-lit dinners. Even amid love and stability, echoes of past shadows remain. Loss, accidents, fame, and childhood scars have etched themselves into him, but he transformed pain into purpose through conservation, philanthropy, and mindful living. His days blend martial arts, surfing, yoga, and plant-forward meals, his body marked by scars that tell stories of survival. He continues acting, producing, making music, and championing the environment, not for applause but for impact. Jason Momoa is a rare synthesis, a celebrity with humility, a father fostering imagination and responsibility, a partner who values quiet joy, a man who turns hardship into empathy and action. His journey reminds us that true wealth is not possessions or fame, but love shared, purpose pursued, and the difference one makes. If this story moves you, leave a tribute and share the moment in Jason Momoa's journey that touched you most, honoring the man who has turned seas, deserts, and every challenge into strength, courage, and lasting inspiration.